everyone, I am delighted that my presentation has been included in the 6th Annual ICCM Student Research Symposium. My name is Rafaela Troulou, I come from Greece and I'm a second-year doctoral student in the field of community music at the University of Macedonia. My thesis is about the impact of community music making on the well-being of the elderly. I am also an early childhood music educator in the Baby Artist program, which is the first music program for infants, toddlers and their parents in Greece. In this program, I facilitate group music making activities in which infants and toddlers participate alongside their parents. Through this presentation, I am exploring the role and the engagement of the community musician within family context. The importance of family music making has been highlighted by many researchers. However, the striking majority of the studies have focused on family music making through the lens of parent-child engagement. There is a gap in the literature regarding family music making, focusing on the musical engagement of the older members of the family. Furthermore, there is a lack of studies relevant to the family music making agenda, which involve the engagement of the researcher in a music-making procedure within their own family context. Through my presentation, I wish to shed light to the aforementioned research gap by introducing my reflections and thoughts regarding my role and engagement as a community musician within my family context. I hope that this presentation will offer a more holistic approach regarding our positionality as community musicians and researchers in the various contexts we are part of. By presenting my point of view as well as my experience of facilitating family music making activities, I seek to provide a new insight towards the engagement of the community musician and to underline the need for connecting our formal practice as researchers and practitioners in the field with our practice in the various informal contexts we are engaged. As an early researcher and practitioner in the field of community music, which is an emerging field introduced in the Greek research community in the last 5 years, I came across a wide range of theoretical writings and research papers that were related to the community music agenda. The work of Higgins, and especially his definition of the community musician, not only inspired me greatly, but also puzzled me regarding my practice as a researcher and practitioner in the field. Higgins defines the community musician as a musician committed to people, participation, context, diversity, and equality of opportunity through which active music-making experiences happen. Taking into consideration Higgins' definition, a couple of questions arose. Am I, as a community musician, committed only to the people I work with? Am I committed only to the groups I facilitate in music-making activities? Am I only committed to offering participation in music-making in formal contexts, that is, my work and research settings? What about the informal context, that is, my family and my friends, that I am part of? Do I celebrate diversity and offer equality of opportunity in music making in every context I am part of? The aforementioned concerns coincided with my intense desire to explore the power of community music making in the lives of older people by being engaged as a facilitator in group music making activities with them. However, the outburst of the COVID-19 pandemic postponed my plans, but didn't put out the fire that burned inside me. Not being able to deliver music-making activities within community settings with older people, I decided to offer a music-making experience to an older member of my family, my grandmother. I also thought that it would be a great idea to create an intergenerational music-making environment by involving not only my grandmother, but also my adolescent sister. At this point, I would like to elaborate a little bit on the context. I live far away from my family and I can only see them during the summer holidays. So this intergenerational family music making intervention was implemented during the summer break and consisted of 10 music sessions. The sessions involved singing, dancing, playing percussion instruments, songwriting activities, as well as improvising on the piano. My grandmother used to play the piano when she was younger, but she hasn't played it for almost 60 years. My sister has never received formal music education. Let's have an idea of the intergenerational family music making environment. Is not the impact of the intervention on the participants' well-being, I will not elaborate on the findings which arose regarding this point. I would like to focus more on the findings which contribute to exploring my engagement as a community musician within this context. First of all, I realized the impact of this endeavor not only on my grandmother and my sister, but on myself as well. As soon as the music sessions were over, I realized that I felt more emotionally connected with them, and that stronger bonds had been created among us through this family music making experience. I also find out that they decided to get involved in the music sessions because of its context. It was the family context that incited them to get involved in the music making procedure. It was the family-like atmosphere which urged them to realize and express their musicality. It was the family context that opened the pathways for them to find an interest in learning music.
Από 55 χρόνια ξαναπαίξετε.
Μου άρεσε. Ίσως ήταν και η ατμόσφαιρα καλύτερη.
Δηλαδή θα το συνεχίζετε.
Με αυτή την ατμόσφαιρα, ναι, με την ατμόσφαιρα που ζω, όχι.
However, some findings cannot be reflected through a video recording or in a research paper. A year after the implementation of the intergenerational family music making intervention, during my last summer holidays, my grandmother asked me if we could make the music sessions again. My sister also asked me if I had time to teach her how to play the piano. But foremost of all, I came across an ambiguous and ironic realization. I was acting as a community music practitioner and as a person committing to the principles and the philosophy of community music in the formal context I was engaged. but I wasn't a community music thinker in any other informal context I was part of. I was following the principles of community music without fully understanding them. If it hadn't been for the restrictions due to the COVID-19 pandemic, I would have never imagined involving the members of my family in music-making activities. But why? After all, isn't our family the first and foremost community that we are part of? Why was I neglecting this community from my field of practice? My family music-making experience helped me acknowledge my role as a community musician, as a musician committed to providing equality of opportunity, promoting diversity, and encouraging participation through active music-making, regardless of formal or informal contexts. A musician committed to offering the possibility of music-making to everyone. This approach acknowledges the core principles of community music practice as an integral part of the way community musicians think, communicate, and act in every diverse setting they are engaged. A fact which offers a more ethical approach regarding their engagement in the field as practitioners and researchers. The purpose of this presentation is not to offer a recipe for every practitioner or researcher of the field to follow. Through this presentation, I hope to inspire other early practitioners and researchers of the field to explore at a first level their role as music facilitators within the community of their family, and on a second level to investigate the impact of this family music-making experience might have both on the way they facilitate community music activities and on the way they understand their role as community musicians or researchers of the field. I would like to conclude by borrowing the words from Lynn Willingham at the Acknowledgements chapter of the book Engaging in Community Music. As family, we are community, and to you, I owe a great deal.